Hello, hello, I'm Kads, and welcome to today's video. It's been a long time since we've been able to participate in a POGO event, but nonetheless, they surprised us this morning with a sacred POGO, so that is awesome. I checked my calendar of videos and whatnot, and the last time I participated in a POGO event was actually October of last year, so it's been 4 months, and that was an ancient POGO. It's been even longer, I think back in April? Or so. August of last year was the last time I did a sacred POGO, so it's definitely been a while. So I am excited in an anticipatory way, to say the least. So because this is a POGO event, of course, that means it's middle of the week. It's during the siege time frame. There is no champion chase and or summon rush going on, so there's no other reason to pull than going all in towards the POGO to proc the double legendary event. Pull one, get one. For those who don't know, that's what POGO stands for. So let's jump right into the portal and talk about the overall shard count. My account at the moment, we have 357 on the ancients, 223 on the voids, 23 on the primals, and then 62 on the sacred, which of course we'll be diving into today. In terms of mercy, we're not actually in the best of possible positions. We're only 2 sacreds into mercy, but I think for me, since it's been so long, it's close enough and I have enough sacreds to spare that I'm willing to go all in on this one and just hope that we get it relatively soon without having to go 20 X sacreds into it, which would be relatively unlikely. I would say we'd probably proc it within 15 sacreds or so. And of course, as is tradition when it comes to POGO events, we're going to talk about my top 5 most wanted non-void legendaries, because of course we're guaranteed to get 2 of them, and hopefully we get 2 shots at someone from the wish list. So number 1 is Glacad of the Meltwater. I would like him for Hydra. He has increased attack, increased defense, increased accuracy, reviving, but also a perfect veil, which is a rare commodity in the game. But and his passive, I think, allows you to deal more damage when you're under a veil or something like that. So it would just improve my Hydra capabilities and Hydra damage. Number 2 would be Martyr. I'd like to use her for a Fire Knight hard mode 10 team. I think she's the most accessible champion, or makes that dungeon stage the most accessible with the Faultless Defense Blessing, increased defense, and the counterattack. Number 3 would be Freya Fate Weaver. Her passive is just really nice for keeping one nuker alive and giving them an instant turn, but also her kit is really good in like protection sets or a little bit of damage sets and whatnot. Duchess Lila too, just because Demon Spawn. Faction Wars need some help there. I wouldn't mind using her in Hydra as well if push came to shove, but I think Glacad would be a little bit better in terms of that. And then 5th would be Grandoak Patrick. So if I can swing him, I obviously had the chance to get him forever ago when he was guaranteed, but I didn't go for it. And so he's not like a must-have, but I would definitely take him for, again, Fire Knight hard mode, just to be a little bit more efficient in terms of the builds and the capabilities of his kit relative to that boss. Now, of course, we should also get a decent amount of epics along the way, so any and all duplicate epics for empowerment will be useful. However, I will say that I'm starting to kind of cap out on the +4 epics on my account, so very, very soon we probably won't need any epics anymore, which is kind of an exciting endgame problem to have, first world problems. But anyways, let's dive in to the shard pulls. We've got hopefully enough space, we've got a ton of cash, and you know what, let's go for some extra good luck. Let's get at least 1 champion from that wish list of my top 5. Let's dive right in to the first take. Oh, 1 and done! 1 and done, and wow, okay, we got an assassin. I honestly didn't even know they were in the pool, but awesome. Okay, that will be a massive help. So, well, that kind of changes things. I kind of hope that, I went for the free air quote summon in the summon pool. So, I mean, I guess a duplicate wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But I kind of don't want a duplicate of the same assassin. But hey, we'll take it. Sweet. So we pulled 1 sacred. We got the POGO to proc instantly. So we get to stop and save, 60 whatever sacreds, or 20, 19, however many it would have taken, and with some more bad RNG. But we'll take it. So Basim Ibn Ishaq, I believe that's how you would say that. Honestly, his kit is not that impressive to me. I think he can do a decent amount of damage. It's a double hitter here, can place weaken. If he's under a veil, it's a higher chance to place the weaken. He can debuff spread. On the A2, it's an AoE attack that can ignore some defense, ignores more if he's under a veil, AoE block active skills, which is useful. This is a 3-turn cooldown, 2-turn block active skills that can ignore block debuffs if he's under a veil. He does give himself a veil on this ability, I believe. Yes, after he does a double hitter, single target attack, and then he will do more damage for each buff and debuff on this champion, and buff and debuff on the target, so that can stack up to a decent amount of damage depending upon the situation. But more importantly, he just, you can do some damage, get an extra turn, put yourself under veil, and then you can go in with the AoE block active skills that can ignore block debuffs. That's kind of his synergy. So I would use him kind of, in the Cursed City type mindset, where there's some niche content or restricted content where you need attack based champions who have CC, which he's really good at in terms of block active skills. Even though, it's obviously stuns and freezes are better, they're harder CC. Enemy mobs have a bunch of stats, so they can just use their A1s that could still do a decent amount of damage, especially to squishy attack based nukers. But I digress. So yeah, hey, I'm not going to complain. I'm super excited to have one of the assassins. My goal is to collect all of the assassins, so this is the third one that I have on my account, so super awesome to have that one. The next up we have Royal Huntsman, who is a very outdated champion, unfortunately for him. He is one of the few enemies. He's one of the few champions in the game who does have the AoE decrease defense on a 3-turn cooldown. However, you'd have to book him. He's a legendary. You're better off using like Tyrell. I mean, I guess he's equivalent to Tyrell when he's unbooked. I probably am not going to book him, but you do also have to crit, which is kind of interesting. But he is a nuker, so I guess that makes sense. He does have this ability here: when ascended, it will ignore 100% defense, but it's on a 5-turn cooldown, so that's just very outdated. This champion honestly kind of needs a buff. He needs a more modern touch. Just ignoring defense on its own is not really enough anymore. There's a lot more things that are annoying, and then he can put increased attack on himself for 2 turns if he crits. So yeah, not too excited about Royal Huntsman, but I do believe he is a new legendary on my account. These are both new legendaries on my account, so let's confirm that, I guess, in the index here. Yeah, we got two red dots. So the High Elves is the Royal Huntsman, so he is new. And then the Sacred Order is Basim, which is, again, super awesome that we, okay, so apparently the assassins are in the summoning pool during the event. I don't know if that's usually been the case. You can tell me about that in the comment section down below. I guess I'm usually not pulling that many shards during these types of events, but hey, I'm not going to complain. We'll take it. We got one of the assassins. We finally got lucky. We got one of the assassins early. I've tried a couple of times in, in some air quotes free ways to get the assassins early. Holy pop-ups. But yeah, that's awesome. And I guess that is going to do it for today's video. I expected this to go on for a little bit longer, but it does, like I keep saying, I'm not going to complain about getting the proc 1 shard. Only 2 shards into Mercy, and then 1 shard, the first shard of the day, was able to proc it. So it's been a while since I've done that, to be fair, but nonetheless, it's always exciting. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below if you are also participating in this POGO event. Let me know what you got from your summons. Hopefully you got some decent double legendary procs for yourself. And as always, if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to hit that like button down below. It really does help out the channel. And be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if and only if you're enjoying the content overall on this channel for more content just like this one in the future. Thanks for watching and have a good one.